Hello there and welcome back to my channel. I am so grateful that you are here, and I want to talk to you about a really important topic. And I feel like many things I talk about, this isn't talked about enough in the industry that I'm working in, and also it's not talked about what we are going through in life when we are experiencing that we're pushing things and we want to get something, but we're not getting it. And then we're just getting more and more angry at ourselves. I want you to think about something you wanted to learn, or maybe it was a program or something you bought and you tried to learn it and you were very excited. But after a couple of minutes, maybe hours, you noticed that you were pushing and you were getting frustrated at yourself. But instead of taking a break, you were sitting there the whole time. What am I talking about? So I want to share with you that the other day I invested in a program. And I was so excited about it. And I said to myself, I'm going to learn this. The first thing I did, of course, was to open it up, start working on it right away. I didn't follow anyone before who talked about the program. I didn't get the information about the program ahead of time. So after a while, it started working pretty great. I got good results. And then I did more with the program, good results. And then after the 7th, 8th time, I experienced that everything I managed to do before, I didn't manage to do. And my program kept crashing. And I was like, what's going on? And it made me so angry. But then I just said to myself, it's probably just one thing. It will be okay. And then I started looking at things I managed to do before online, on YouTube, of course. And suddenly I didn't manage to do it. I didn't get the results I got before. And it made me again angry and frustrated, and it's almost like a voice came within saying, you're not going to manage this. You can try, but obviously you're not going to get this. And I want to ask you if you've had a voice within you when you tried to learn something, or maybe you were studying for a test and it's this voice who comes in and pulls down the energy and you just feel like giving up. So what I did, instead of not taking a break or walking outside and just getting fresh air, I was sitting there. And then I finished the work in the program. It wasn't perfect, it was messy, but I wanted to do it, so I was pushing and pushing. And I didn't feel good after, and I wasn't happy with the final product. But at least did it, I said to myself. So when we're talking about pushing in manifestation, it's that thing that you feel, because when people say you have to be positive, that can make you angry too, because it's not just to be positive when you're in that kind of energy where you feel like life and everything is working against you. And what I was feeling at this time, this program was working against me. So it's not easy, but it takes practice to allow yourself the space, allow yourself time. So what I did before I went to bed, I said, okay, Ingerd, obviously you pushed it and you got the results because you pushed it. You didn't allow yourself time. It was like you had this time clock hanging over your head. And then you started feeling like the program was working against you. And the more you felt that, the more of that you got. out. And then I was like, I already know this. So why did I do this again? And the reason I did it again is because my paradigm, the belief system I have around learning new things, for example, is that I just have to push, I have to try harder. And then I always think I will fail. So it's like I'm driving slowly to a wall because I know I'm going to crash. So why did I do this again when I know that my paradigm is so strong? It's because it's sometimes so sneaky. What I have learned faster, and that's why I had the conversation with myself at nighttime, was to go back and ask myself, okay, so where did this start? You were excited and then you hit your first bump and then your second and your third, and you didn't kind of go back. So what I wanted to do the next day is set an intention for how I wanted that to go. So when I went to bed, I said, okay, what has happened has happened. I'm grateful for the lesson. Tomorrow, I want to wake up and I want to learn more about this program so I can master it better. I don't need to master everything in a day, which I've tried to do, but I just need to master this thing first, and then this thing, and then this thing, and this thing. And that was very calming to have that conversation and just allow myself to go through that lesson instead of oh, I failed. It was showing me that you can do this, Ingrid. You just need to take your time and you're not under pressure to get this right away. And when you think about it, it's only ourselves. Like in this situation, all the pressure I put on myself. It's only us that puts this pressure so that we get into this negative spiral. And the next day, when I woke up, I remember the intention that I set for myself. And I reminded myself that this is the direction we're going today. I just allowed myself to wake up, to go for a walk. I allowed myself for the idea to come to me, what to do next. And the idea that came was simple. It was find a course, someone who can take you through this step by step, and then follow and learn and test it out and have fun. And don't sit at your computer for 6 hours if you feel stuck. Take a break. You're allowed. So I went back to the computer. I found the course. And then I looked at it for 20 minutes and I did what that person told me. And then I left it. And then I said to myself, I'm good. I've done enough. Today I can come back to this. And the reason that I did it this way for myself is because I know that I have a tendency to push, to want to get things done, because sometimes I think it's very exciting. So that's where I know I have to kind of stop and digest, stop and digest, and allow myself that not everything has to be done in a day. And that goes for everything in life. And that is what scares maybe many of you out there. If you want to do something new, you think you have to have everything done in a day. Like if you want to start a business, you think you have to have the full company in one day. And that terrifies you. And then you don't want to do it because that affects your nervous system. But what if people can help you on this journey? And I have certainly met people on the journey who has helped me to the next step and sometimes put me a little bit back, and then I gone forward. Because on the journey, I think this is so important. You are going to have error and trials. And you're going to feel good and you're not going to feel good. The most thing is how you speak to yourself. when this happens, how you are to yourself. And that is where the kind of science behind manifesting is coming in, because you have to dare to take steps towards what you want. You have to dare to get in the ring that not many people dare to get into. And you have to allow yourself that you're allowed to stay there and learn and grow with everyone else. And the people who are not in the ring, who doesn't want to get in the ring and do what you're doing, they have no competence to tell you what to do. And many people on your journey will try to tell you that you can't do that because you don't have the degree, the certification, that you have never done it before, that you don't look like a person who can do whatever it is. But they have never done what you want to do. So why would you listen to them? I remember before I discovered what I wanted to do, the most terrifying idea was to have my own company, because I thought, oh my God, it's going to cost so much money. And there's going to be like so many people, and then I have to deal with finances and taxes and all of those things. And I also thought that since I was not good in school, that would kind of hold me back. But the truth is, on this journey, I've met people who are helping me with things I'm not good at. So I have an accounting company who helps me with my finances and taxes. That's the best ever investment I've done. I'm so proud of that investment, and I have people helping me with marketing, and I'm learning and I'm doing my things, and then I'm having people helping me, and I'm having fun and I'm free because I wasn't held back by those thoughts that I had before, that starting a company was so scary. I am so proud of having my own company, and I still have a lot of paradigms, like my mentor also would say. Like, I'm never done getting rid of my paradigms. I'm always growing. And then I discovered that some of my paradigm comes back as I grow, to check in that I'm really there where I want to be, that I really believe in myself. So when lessons show up again, or you get new lessons, instead of getting like angry at yourself for a week, a month, or longer, you analyze the lesson and ask yourself, because you're the only one who have the answer, because you're the workbook. What happened here? Why did this happen? How can we solve it? What's next? Because you get ideas all the time. It comes to you when you're just outside walking, or you step away and you're just like, I'm going to do that instead. That's going to be easier. Today's video is all about you thinking about a challenge that you experienced, or maybe you're going through it now. And I want you to ask yourself, when I feel that I'm stuck, what is it that is making me feel stuck? And what does that do to my thought system? Does it make me feel like that I'm not going to have enough ideas, or I'm not going to be able to help anyone? Or does it feel like I'm stuck and this is all I'm going to be? Whatever come to you, I'm just throwing out things there. I remember when I used to work in like big companies, and very often I was like, oh, I have to go into that meeting and it's going to be so boring, or I have to have a meeting with that person. And I would like use a week or the night before to think about it. And then the morning came and I was like, oh. So you see, I invested so much time thinking about this meeting and this person that I was going to meet, and that I was just destroyed before the meeting happened. What do you think happened when I was in the meeting? It went as I expected. So if the meeting went as I expected, then I want you to think about this. If you can change the intention and just be like, it's going to be great because I am going to have great conversation with that person and it's not going to feel so stressful. You change your thoughts about how it's going to be instead of having thoughts like I had before. So you're going down the drain. You are now like feeling better. You're using your energy better. And when you do that, you're on a level where you get ideas and you attract good things to you. Think about when you see people speaking and hosting events or people speaking at your work. You can see who's good at speaking in front of an audience and who's not there yet. And you can like see the people who are good at speaking and good at engaging you. How's their attitude? I want you to think about it. How's their attitude and how is their body language? And why do you, for example, like listening to them? What is it about them? I remember I worked in an oil and gas company, and there was this guy. He was so full of energy, but still he was so centered. And I remember when he was speaking, he was going back and forward, and he was looking people in the eyes, but he was so full of excitement. He really believed in what he was talking about. Listening to him gave me so much. And it wasn't that he used a lot of words. It was just his presence on the stage that made me excited. I remember another chief I had when I was in the US. He was so like calm and he had his way of being. He wasn't like, yay, let's jump. But he was funny. But then he was very serious and he had a lot of information to share, but he trusted himself. So I want you to think about all these people that you admire. Maybe they're not hosting events or presenting things. Maybe they're in your friend circle and you like them because they have something. I want you to study that and see if you can implement something of that into you. Because the thing is, what you see in others, you already have it within you. It's not that you're copying them because you're developing your own formula. So I hope this video helped you and I see you soon.